Last time, on the Minus 20 podcast, Marth has a disturbing conversation with Boss Hatchet's assistant, Molar. Marth then meets with Bugsy Blackwater and signs a suspicious contract. Echo brings Seraphina to see the dead body of Biney. At the lair, Kira reveals she's been hired to spy on Seraphina. As they leave, there's a ruckus in Triangle Square. What will the heroes find there?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Minus 20 podcast. I'm Jay, your GM. We are playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, our homebrew campaign, Vigilante. I'm here with the usual gang. Why don't we just go in the room and say hi. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Jay. I'm Holly. I play Seraphina.
Hey, Jay. I'm John. I play Marth.
Hi, John.
James playing Bo Poncho. Yeah, let's try that again. Not ready. James playing Bo Poncho.
Nate playing Shepherd.
Diana playing Kira.
So we're here again in Minnesota, and it's like the most amazing weather outside right now. It's minus 20 plus 70 today. Just gorgeous early summer weather. Couldn't ask for a better day. So, of course, we're here in our basement recording.
Where all D&D is played.
That's right.
By the time this airs, it's going to be rainy and cold outside.
So, like, Monday?
Yeah.
Before we get into the banter, the pre-ep banter, James has a quick statement, or I guess announcement he'd like to make.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. By the time you're hearing this, we're 10 to 12 episodes in. So I wanted to take a moment to step back and just talk directly to you, the audience, and say, from everyone in the cast and crew, just a huge thank you for all that have been here since the beginning episode, or if this is your first time, we appreciate you either way. Whether you're here for the stories, the laughs, the chaos, or just seeing what kind of trouble the Vigilantes get into next, we appreciate you being part of the journey. And I just wanted to pull back even more and kind of give a look, I guess, not behind the screen, because it's not on Jay's side. It's more of a look behind the monitor screen, and just talk a little bit about how we edit. We ultimately record one session, and we try to keep as true to as possible, but to keep it as clean and kind of catered to our audience, we kind of have a podcast edit or an audio edit. This is more a version of more behind the scenes, gets to know us as players through the banter, or a little bit more about us learning about our abilities in the game, and just kind of give you a fuller picture of both the adventure and the people behind it playing it. Where the video edit is a version more focused tightly around the Vigilantes themselves. So it's an edited version to emphasize the in-world narrative portion of the story and the adventure itself. So it'll have a little bit less of us learning about how to do things. I make as the video editor, cut out a certain thing just because it helps it play a little bit faster. So if you were ever looking at both edits, you may see the video edit's just a little bit shorter, and it's just with that intent. It's just to kind of spotlight into the narrative that we're trying to create here. So whether you're here for the story, both as us as players or just the game, we appreciate you all the same. So stay warm out there, all our frosty friends.
Easy on a day like today, anyways. Before we get into it, I just wanted to kind of sum up where we're at in the world right now. You know, this is our 13th episode, lucky 13. And so I can imagine all these things happen in the space of 3 days, right? And it must be kind of a whirlwind of events and emotions going through everybody. Some of you actually lost people you care for, literally. There are strange dangers. You're not really sure what's going on. What do you think your characters are going through right now? Like I'd love to hear what your thoughts are as characters. Like,
well, I think Seraphina is hyper vigilant now about the whereabouts of her daughter and probably her mom, and making sure that everybody is probably wanting them to stick close to home, keep an eye, where she can keep an eye on them. Now, knowing that there's some unknown entity out there that is hiring some fox to spy on me.
Just some random fox.
Rando.
With the cute boopable snoot.
The boopable snoot.
The boopable snoot.
That could be your vigilante persona, rando snoot.
Boop snoot.
What about Marth? He's getting involved in stuff.
Yeah, but I think, it's a really good point that you bring out about the time frame that we are seeing all this in, where it's only been 3 days, and this and this and this and this and this have all happened. And for a person that, is all about fixing problems and people, that affords him the ability to not have to think about anything that's happened so far. It's real easy to be like, oh, I've gotten taken care of this problem. Now I get to move on to this one, and then I get to move to this one. I don't need to think about the fact that I am now wrapped up in things way above my pay grade. I think eventually there's going to probably be a point where we slow down for a minute, and maybe then Marth is going to be, whew. But for now, he's doing great.
And of course, Kira/Penn must be pretty tumultuous areas, emotionally speaking.
I would say that I imagine Kira is doing what we typically do with trauma, bury it very, very deep. And in true 18-year-old fashion, just kind of living for the moment, like damage control this moment. And so I'm sure she's very focused on this new thing in front of her face, which is that she's in over her head. She's not prepared for what she's been signing up for. And what are we going to do to get out of it?
What about Bo? I mean, Bo's been around for a long time, and I feel like his powers are kind of reawakening in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we haven't gotten into any kind of narrative backstory on him at this point, but I can say that there's definitely some kind of reoccurrences that he's kind of feeling through the last 3 days. He's reacting when he would rather be planning and doing something to try to counteract all the things that are going on, but there's too much coming at him at that same time, so it's just this panic. And then, yeah, on top of it, like, he's known for the longest time that he's had this ability to be bigger and that he was given it to it by his creator, but like, it's not something he normally has to use other than maybe lifting a bigger barrel. So like to actually have to use it in a aggressive way is almost against his nature. And like being a gunslinger, it just meant, hey, I was protecting a farm, not, hey, I'm protecting the neighborhood. So if he had skin, he would be out of it. I guess he has skins. They're just grape skins.
Yeah, that's true.
Many skins.
Peel me a grape.
And of course, Shepard, who may be in his present situation because of past trauma.
Yeah, so Shepard's gone through a bunch the past 3 days. You know, he spends a lot of nights, and even now, just adjusting to the fact that he's got a consistent roof over his head, in that space is also people free. You know, if he's generally spending the evenings on the streets wherever he can find it, he's still subject to whomever passes by, and kind of with that looming unease of if he's going to be pushed out of the area in the middle of the night or harassed in any way. But now he really truly is like alone every night with only him, his old war gear, and his thoughts. So there's a lot of kind of pensive evenings, kind of staring into the fireplace down in our new hideout.
Yeah.
Clearly, we need to get him a watchtower supercomputer.
He's thoroughly removed all the rust from the blade with probably subconsciously obsessive cleaning of it.
Yeah. Yeah, not even thinking about it, just these old habits. You know, sitting down and suddenly his sword is gleaming in front of him. He's got the oil out and the honing stone and all that stuff.
Yeah, reflects in the firelight. He just kind of stares into it the way that it's so easy to get lost in staring at a campfire at night and just enjoying the quiet and the crackling and kind of trying to balance that and the voices in his own head. So,
yeah. Cool. Well, last we left off, you guys had just had a pretty crazy confrontation in your lair between Kira or Penelope and her foxhorn, and the rest of the group when they discovered that the person who had hired Kira/Penn, well, I'm just going to say Penn for this scene, right?
Sure.
The guy who had hired Penn actually probably killed Biney and hired Penn to spy on Seraphina. Now, there was some initial resistance, right, to deny this information, but you guys talk this out, hash it out. There were some warnings thrown around, some threats, perhaps even. And then, right, which is pretty awesome, by the way. That was an amazing scene.
Not empty threats, by
Not
the way.
empty
I
threats.
don't want to sit across from Holly anymore.
Yeah, there was actually a threat from Holly to Diana.
That was
I
off.
still love you,
off
Diana. It was acting. Thank you.
Acting. So you guys had hashed it out and were leaving the lair, probably with, conflicting thoughts and this new twist. Not only, is the neighborhood going to hell, but now there's this, this conflict within your own group. And then when you get to the surface in the city, there are people running around screaming that something is going on at the marketplace. Before we get into it, though, I got to give out some hero points. This is the 4th episode, so all the hero points are wiped. Everyone starts with 1, but I want to give the additional 1 to Holly.
Oh, thank you.
Because of that amazing scene finding Biney, but also because you had this trauma. That your character had this trauma that she is being spied upon and now feels danger not only to herself, but to her family.
Great.
It's a
So
pity
inter-party
point.
conflict gets you hero points. Everybody just
Pity
pointing
points,
that out.
pity point.
Yeah.
It's
You heard
drama.
it here first.
It's not the drama, like part of it that got her the point. It's the fact that she didn't like just beat the crap out of Pen. That's the hero point.
Yeah.
You wait till
You're a
I
hero for
hone
your
my magical
restraint.
skills. You're dead.
All right, so let's get back into it. You guys come out in the surface, blinking in the sunlight, and then there's just people running around screaming, "The Van Brocklins are back! Ah!" Now, probably out of any of you here, I think Marth would be the only one who would recognize this name instantly. Everyone else is relatively new to the area and probably doesn't run around the same circles that Marth did as a kid. The Van Brocklins are a famous trio of siblings who grew up on the hard streets of the 7th Ward. Their parents both died in a factory accident, and unlike Marth, did not have the luxury of growing up in an orphanage, grew up on the streets, and they became famous for how rambunctious and violent they were. And then when the Axis took over, they were politely asked to move out and ended up in the 6th Ward down by the docks and are kind of famous enforcers in that area. So when you guys, Marth immediately would recognize this name. The rest of you probably not. Definitely not Kira Penn. That's before her time. And the rest of you probably came to the area sort of after that. And Bo probably wouldn't, he's been here for a while, but would not be running in those circles at all.
If I have underworld lore, is there anything that I may recall?
Sure,
they're
give me
enforcers.
a roll. Yeah. We can see if you recognize these guys. And so give me a GM secret roll, blind roll in Foundry. And also with underworld lore can also make this check.
I'm going to say, Bo's also been in town for like 20, 30 plus years at this point, but I don't think he would associate in this area, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, this is more in the tenements in the back alleys and stuff than it is on Triangle Square itself.
For narrative, so I don't ruin things.
Yeah.
You got some names?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. There are 3 siblings. Mordecai Van Brocklin, Orval Van Brocklin, Orval, and their sister, Chris, with a K, Van Brocklin.
What was the second name?
Orval, so Orval. Mordecai, Orval, and Chris Van Brocklin.
I do have underworld lore, so maybe I have heard things
Yeah, sure. Give me
from my work.
Give me a roll, okay. Shepard, you don't know anything about these people. This is a complete mystery. Van Brocklin's doesn't make any sense to you. You're like, what? What's a Van Brocklin? Sounds like a breakfast treat.
Sounds like a 6th Ward problem.
Yeah. Same with Kira. Kira, you have not heard of the Van Brocklins either.
And would they know who I am?
With Van Brocklins, probably not, unless.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't discussed your backstory as a child. I don't think you
Well,
were
I was a
like
child.
a
If
Hellraiser
they
or
were
anything, right?
running around being rambunctious. Who remembers a child?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they were probably a couple years older than you, maybe 5-10 years older. And again, you were in the orphanage. You weren't out in the streets. You heard about them. Maybe some of your friends ran into their gang or something, but they were more like breaking up bars or, beating up people. Maybe they were loan sharking, things like that. As a child, you wouldn't have been involved with. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't imagine that Marth was like a criminal child. You were kind of just a shy kid. I mean,
yes and no, because Marth was out on the streets before the orphanage, where, it's not a fun, happy place to be necessarily.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in our little kind of recap thing there, it's interesting how the group somewhat splits into people that are in this situation and it's the having to learn a new normal, and then there's the half that's like regressing to a former normal, where it's the there's all those orphanage years, but before there was the orphanage, there was the streets.
Yeah.
So having some of that chaos might be Marth's doing okay because he remembers living like that. But yeah, he was young. He doesn't remember a ton of it.
Yep.
He had someone else there to take care of that part.
Right. And I also imagine the things that Marth would do would be more like petty theft, like stealing a loaf of bread kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if he did anything, it'd be like that. And I think it was probably more a reaction to, say, Arya arriving with loaf of bread. And how'd you get that? Don't ask.
Yeah. Yeah, so probably how you would encounter the Van Brocklins would be, like in The Wire when Omar would come. People would yell, "The Van Brocklins are coming!" And everyone would like scatter out of the street. And then the Van Brocklins would saunter up on whatever business they were doing. Maybe you would peek out from between, from an alley behind like a, pile of rubbish or something and see them walk by. So
this cultural reference brought to you by the year 1999.
Come on, man. The Wire's the best show ever made. If you're not watching The Wire, watch it. So I guess that's a topic for another band in the future.
Mm.
So, so you guys are, you hear that the Van Brocklins are back and they are in the marketplace messing stuff up.
This is bad. We got to go like that. This is something that we need to deal with. I don't know, like if it's, put on the mask type of deal with it, or like, hey guys, why are you here to deal with it? But we should go.
What time of day is it?
It is morning. It's probably about, just around midday, 11:30ish, 12. I think you guys met in the lair at 10 in the morning and then had it out and then came up. So it was, I would say it'd probably be a couple hours down there at least.
And people are not all running in the same direction. They're just all running away from maybe a central location.
Yeah, or running around screaming, and people are coming out on their stoops as, the shouts go up in the neighborhood.
Marth, what do you know about this gang? Why do we need to deal with it? Shouldn't we be running too?
So, Penn, that's who we're on right now, right, Penn? Sorry, guys.
Yes.
If that is indeed your real name.
Penn, how much do you know about, let's say, the 6th Ward? Heard any rumors about how that place is?
I mean, I guess some.
Like, a little bit rough, not so great. Yeah, these people are why. And they used to be here until the Axes made them leave. If they're back, that's doubly bad. It means the Axes are letting them back. And 2, well, they aren't back in a let's clean this place up kind of way.
So should we be running too?
I mean, don't think that's really what we do, is it?
Well, I mean, like last night did not go very well. Multiple people were hurt very, very badly.
Would have been worse. Look, if the Axes aren't going to do something, this has to be dealt with by somebody. And I'm not trying to drag anybody into things that they don't want to do. I gotta go though. Like I can't see this happening to the people that I care about. So I completely understand. I'll talk to you later, all right? All right, bye, friend. And Marth takes off.
Yes.
Seraphina will take off with him, saying over her shoulder, "I trust Marth."
Ouch.
Shepard finally opens his eyes, raises an eyebrow at our resident snoot, and
The snoot.
sits up, grabs his gear, and walks out.
Are you coming?
I mean, yeah, if I'm allowed to.
No, you're allowed. You're your own person. You do what you feel you gotta. I don't know. I don't know if this is our enemy or not, but I think, we got hurt last night, but I think we got hurt because we're holding back. Let's know our enemy. Let's know what they're about to do and equal force. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I said I was going to defend people who needed it, and I meant that. And I'm really good at finding weaknesses, so let's go.
Let's do it.
Kira starts running after. Shoulders a little tight.
Are you guys doing the masking as you run, or
I
before?
think so. Like if I see that, there's the people that I'm not normally associated with coming along with me, it might be like, oh, maybe I should put this mask on.
Mm-hmm.
And is your ghost conjured as well yet?
Nope.
Not yet. Okay. What about the rest of you? Are you also gearing up for a fight?
So Kira has not yet pulled out a mask, but she does have one in her pocket.
Okay.
And she pulls it out, and it looks kind of roughly sewn together, but it's white, and it's got kind of flowers on one side, the side that she's got a white streak in her hair.
Yeah.
And there's just like a little ribbon that kind of hangs down from that. So she kind of hastily puts it on and tries to readjust it because it's maybe her first time wearing it.
You gotta adjust it a little bit to the left. It's
Oh, that's the
the
nose
snoot's
hole.
not covered.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Got it. Thanks. Thanks, Bo.
No problem. And then Bo he's saying this as he's like reaching his vines out to grab the broken gun sword and starts transforming.
The ship pull on a mask as well?
Yeah, he'll just pull on a very nondescript, like linen face covering for now.
Nice.
A scarecrow head bag.
All right, as you guys approach Triangle Square, just a reminder that this is the kind of park marketplace in the center of the neighborhood. It's in the shape of a triangle formed by various streets that go around it. And in the center, it's part park. You know, there's green space and trees and playing fields, but it's also where the farmers market, basically the marketplace, sets up each day. And as you approach, you see people sort of huddled down, hiding, running away, running towards. It's just chaos, you know, like War of the Worlds kind of, you know, panic. People aren't sure where to go. And you hear, as you get closer, louder and louder sounds of banging and crashing. You get to the edge of the marketplace area and you see a guy sitting on the pavement and there's just blood streaming down his forehead. And he's got his head in his hands, looking dazed. It appears to be a farmer. And you see, normally when they set up in this area, they set up awnings and there's carts and, you know, crates of produce and strings of meat. There's the chicken stall over there, right? And you can see that a lot of these stalls and stuff have been pulled down. Carts are overturned. There are watermelons smashed on the cobblestones. You see someone face down on the pavement. You don't know if they're alive or dead or unconscious. And then ahead, you see the Van Brocklins themselves, sort of in the distance. Basically, just their heads, maybe they step into view sort of between these narrow aisleways in the market. And you can see where they're at, these awnings going back and forth and being pulled down. You can see there are 3 of them. 2 insanely large dwarves, giant dwarves. I guess they're just regular sized people.
These completely regular people.
No, these are extremely wide, you know, beefy, brutish looking dwarves that look identical to each other with, I believe they have bright red beards, hulking, sloping foreheads, you know, massive noses. And then there's a third one, a woman who is very slight. She's got hood pulled up over her and, you know, is wearing leather armor and is, you know, the 2 brothers are doing all the pulling down and she's sort of walking around, looking around very observantly. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to grab my short bow out of my bag and kind of aim it down towards the ground, but keep an eye on what they're doing.
Yeah, Shep would be hard-pressed not to rush and triage the unconscious person probably first.
All right, yeah, give me a medicine check if you want to check out his status.
Yeah. And then if he's all right, he'd probably try to treat his wounds or...
You have stabilized, right?
Yeah. You just want... is it an open medicine check?
Give me an open medicine check. 16 is enough. Yeah, he is... We'll say he's dying one, like he's pretty badly beaten. I think if you do a 2-action stabilize, you'll just triage him, you know, put a compress over his wound or whatever, you know, fix his bone or clear his breathing or whatever you do to save him, and then prop him up and just takes a couple of seconds.
Awesome.
2 actions. What's that? Even not even 6 seconds in the game time.
So Marth will, you know, kind of his favorite thing, use warp step to get that little bit more speed and just head straight into the square with the 3 of them. Be like, all right, I think that's enough of that. Van Brocklins.
How intimidating. Anyone else joining Marth?
On the run over, Bo will try getting a perch kind of thing. So if there's any of the tenements, he would try to climb up, depending on the square.
There are, it's mostly just temporary stalls. There aren't any buildings or structures around. Okay. But I'm going to put you in the scene next to Marth. Oh, and you're still immune to battle medicine, which is in Foundry, which is not correct. Okay. Anyone else joining the action?
I'm walking towards it. I don't know that I'm running in right next to Marth, but close enough that it's clear I'm with him, but far enough away where I have a wider view.
All right. Well, put you in the back. Is Shep up there as well?
Yeah, after taking care of the two wounded people that he could see, he would make his way to the rest of the group.
All right. So I put the 5 of you in the scene. Go ahead and adjust yourselves where you think you would belong. On the right there, you can see the 3 Van Brocklins, the 2 brothers with the beards and the sister in the middle there. As Marth runs up. Nice. Yes. I mean, that's what excellent.
Exactly in range. I mean,
that's right.
What is that, 30 feet right there? Oh, great.
All right. So as you shout out your, I guess, challenge. What did you yell again? Let me.
Basically, that's enough. Stop it.
Geronimo.
The 3 of them whirl around and see you, and you can see broad grins break out across the face of the 2 brothers. And the sister shouts out back, "Oh, finally a fight. All these farmers are just, they're nothing. Oh, come on, boys, let's get them." And let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Mm.
Not much of a conversationalist.
Van Brocklins aren't known for their
Charisma.
etiquette and eloquence.
All right, Penn got 14.
Penn got a 14, nice.
Shep's got a 16.
16, good.
Seraphina has 9.
Ooh, rough, but not bad, for the healer, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
Oh, I'm not really the healer. I think Shep's the healer.
Oh,
but-
Shep's the healer? Who's the healer?
It's up for
Shep's
debate.
the healer, yeah.
I got 11.
And 12 for the gunslinger.
12 for the gunslinger.
Unless somebody goes into labor in this combat, I don't think you should count on Seraphina for too much.
All
Maybe
right.
that's why they're big guys.
Yeah, it could be.
Wait.
We will start our combat now. Chris Van Brocklin got the highest initiative. However, she is going to delay her turn. So it is Orville's turn. Oh, this is going to be good. Orville will... I mean, this is not going to be good. This is going to be terrible. Orville will run up to Marth with 1 action. So Marth is in front of the rest of the gang, sort of in the center of this market area. You can see the stalls on the north. You can use those as cover if anyone wants to, but those are pretty flimsy structures. So jumping up on them, especially if you're an enormous vine creature, would not be so great. There is a little mini stage off in the southwest corner of this map, kind of, like where a busker would perform, like at a summer carnival thing, just a small stage where the gunslinger has taken up residence. But Orville will rush straight at Marth, and he is going to attempt to trip Marth. So this is an athletics check against Marth's reflex DC. And reflex DC, of course, is your reflex save plus 10. So here comes the roll. Almost rolled athletics. It's a 15 on the die for a 23.
Yeah, that would win.
All right, you are knocked prone. He comes up and sweeps the legs out from underneath you. And then he is going to grab you, and that will be athletics check against your fortitude DC. This is at map, so this is a -5 to this check. What's your athletics DC?
My fortitude
DC.
16.
Okay. 6 in the die for a 14. So he misses this. He misses this attempt to grab you. And then he is going to attempt to hit you with he's going to kick your head with his third action. At map, a 16 to hit.
That does not hit.
What's your AC?
Oh, wait. I'm looking at my HP.
Yeah.
What is my
I have a 37.
Yeah.
No, that does hit. I have a 13.
You have a 13. Okay, so this was a 16. I didn't add in that it's a non-lethal attack. So, however, I will say, because it's an unarmed attack, there's no penalty. Typically, if you attack someone with a lethal weapon to do non-lethal damage, you take a penalty to hit. But this is an unarmed kick. So that is a hit. You are going to take 5 points of non-lethal damage, and that is Orville's turn. All right, we go to Mordecai. He's going to run up next to Marth. Oh, you know what? I just gave Orville 4 actions, didn't I? So I'm going to take back that third strike. I'm going to retcon the third attack.
Yay!
Because he ran up 1 action, tripped him second action, and attempt to grab him 3 actions. So he never got off that attack. So my apologies. I can
I'll let it slide.
I can hear like our Pathfinder listeners
Counting on their
groaning.
fingers,
It's like,
yeah.
wait a minute, that was 4 actions. So Mordecai will run up and he will attack Marth on the ground. So here goes his attack. Here comes his first unarmed strike. Not at map since it's his first attack action. That's a 14 on the die for a 25.
Oof.
Oh,
This
I
is
don't
gonna
like
hurt.
the sound of that.
Oh, no.
You said AC 13?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a critical hit.
Yep.
More than 10 above the AC. You take 12 points of damage.
That hurt.
And then he will make his second attack. I'm starting to sweat. Like, oh god, I can't lose these characters. We bought all their art.
Thank
That was
you
a
to
10.
the artist for sparing our lives today.
Yeah.
That was a
10 misses.
10 misses. Okay. Now comes the real danger. Chris Van Brocklin pulls from her belt a dagger and runs up to Marth on the ground and will attempt to stab him with his dagger. 1 action to pull the dagger out, 1 action to run up, 1 action to strike. 5 on the die for a 15, which
Still hits.
hits. This also comes with sneak attack damage. So it's going to be an extra d6 of damage. Here we go. Here's the dagger damage. Takes 7 points of dagger damage, which puts you to dying 1. This is lethal damage. All right, and that is her turn. Shepard, you watch as the Van Brocklins rush up and put Marth out of commission.
Yeah, that happened really fast. We battle medicine you right away, huh? Is this happening this fast? Shep will run up to Marth with 1 action, moving all of 10 feet, and he will attempt to battle medicine Marth. Get him, hopefully, conscious again. Dare we risky surgery you? And the result on the die are 13 on the die for a total of 19, which is a success. So it heals for 12 hit points
Nice.
for Marth. And Marth, you're going to have to add that treat wounds immunity.
The
I can
battle
do that.
medicine immunity. So you can't use battle medicine on him again for 24 hours.
Correct.
All right. That's 2 actions. You have a third action left.
And with my third action, I'd like to take a swing at Chris, I guess.
All right.
They have the most of potential damage. And I will use Snagging Strike as part of this to try to throw them off balance.
Okay. My hands are sweating here. Come on, you got this.
Swing with my sword.
Oh!
Natural 20.
Whoa.
All he does is crit.
All he does is crit.
That's amazing. That's what a time. Man, I'm sweating here, but
Crit, crit, no matter what.
okay.
With the sword we cannot name.
Yeah.
That's right.
Our Discord channel bans it.
The natural born sun sword.
And for the damage on the dice, it was a 5 on the die, so a total of 16 slashing damage.
All right. And Chris is off guard. You just run this sword along her ribs, and she screams in pain. That was a very severe wound. She is bleeding freely down her side.
Does it match the slash that was on Biney?
Yeah.
Should I investigate this?
See, it wasn't my guy. It
You
was-
taking the forensic science
Yes.
dedication.
And that's your turn. That's a great turn.
Gout of
what a
blood.
timely critical, man. From the depths of despair from your GM to now I'm confident you guys have this in the bag. Pen, you're up.
All right, so my first action, I'm going to demoralize the giant dwarf that's in front of me.
All right.
Shep's in between us, but I'm just going to yell at him and be like, "What, did the circus you work at let you have a day off?" And so I roll my intimidation. Whoops. I roll my intimidation, and it's against
His will
DC. Ooh, that's kind of good.
That is a success.
Yeah, I rolled 19.
For some reason, this little fox frightens him.
Rabies,
Beautiful little mask.
I tried to target him, but he has frightened 1.
All right.
Can I drag it over his token?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
It's on him.
So that's my first action. My second act.
You put it on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, they are pretty scary.
I took it off.
Scared
I took it
yourself.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared myself.
Wow, I didn't know I had that in me.
Calm down.
Well, this is right on the heels of our little discussion.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to devise a stratagem against him,
All right.
and it does not succeed. So for my,
Well, it succeeds. Tell the people what you rolled.
I rolled a 4.
4. So you can use a 4 as your attack if you strike. And you were devising a stratagem on that Van Brocklin brother, right?
I was on the southern one. Now we had talked about this off camera, but if I do devise a stratagem on one target,
Yep.
my attack against the target, I have to use that roll.
Right.
But I could attack another target that I did not use devise a stratagem, and I would not have to use that roll. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So, seeing as though I don't really have a good weak spot on him, probably because Shep's kind of in the way, I'm going to aim my short bow at the northern dwarf and attack
All right.
them.
No cover for the northern dwarf. It's a clear shot.
And it still misses with an 11.
Oh, it actually used your device.
It did, which I'll have to...
Yep. So go ahead and do a strike again.
The Chris is also. I don't think she has cover.
That's true.
Martha's
Yeah.
down.
So do you want me to re-roll? Because what it was doing was giving me an extra +2, so it would have missed either way. It just would have been a 9 instead of 11.
No, so it used your devise a stratagem roll, even though you had targeted
I see.
a different target. I guess you hadn't targeted it on 5.
I should have turned it off. Well, that's even worse. 2 on the die for a 7. It's
Okay.
not meant to be.
It was the
The will of the gods.
yes.
My turn is over.
We can't
I think you
all be
truly
mates.
scared yourself.
Yeah.
All right, it is the unnamed gunslinger's turn, who is crouching behind this stage off to the southwest.
Yeah, I will take the advantage of Marth being down to shoot at Chris.
Okay. It does look like you might. It
just misses.
just misses Shep. So go ahead and no cover there for Chris. So Chris is standing between her two brothers over the fallen form of Marth, and the unnamed gunslinger takes a shot
13 to hit.
on Chris is not a hit.
I'll
You see as the seed fires and she ducks at the last minute.
In that case, I will reload and take another one at map.
All right.
Make sure she's targeted so you get the off guard bonus.
So that was a 17 for a 21 total.
That hits. So she looks, stands back up, and you just as you fire the second shot. Go ahead and roll that damage.
6 total damage.
6 points of damage. She takes the shot in her shoulder and spins around. She's still up, though.
That's my turn.
All right, we go to Marth. You are on the ground.
I am indeed.
And if you had a weapon, too, it would be on the ground as well. So whatever you were clutching, whether it's the dagger or nightstick, would be dropped.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Here's another Pathfinder thing. It is actually not Marsh's turn. I messed this up. But once you're knocked out, you actually move in the initiative order to right before the person that knocked you out. So
Oh, dang.
I'm going to put Marth last in the order. So we actually go to Seraphina first. So apologies, John.
How dare you?
Okay, well, Seraphina's blood is still running pretty hot from the discussion with Penn.
When are we going to get over it?
It's been an hour. I
That's
mean,
true,
come
that's
on.
true.
She just
Touche.
needs to kill something right now. So she's going to move 15 feet to here.
Oh, thank
and
God.
Conveniently, the Von Brocklins are all in a line.
They are in line.
So,
Lightning bolt
So
forward.
Seraphina moves directly to the north end of this nice stack of Van Brocklins.
stack. And just channels this rage inside her and casts Grim Tendrils.
Ooh.
So it's... I'm sure the brothers are really high in fortitude, but we're going to go for it anyway. So I
Alright.
need a
Yeah.
fortitude save.
Mordecai rolls a 22, which is a success. So we'll take half this damage. Chris rolls a 2 on the die for
Nice.
7,
Whoa.
which is
Get
a
wrecked.
critical failure.
Poor Chris, she's having a bad day.
She is having a very bad day. And then Orville rolls an 11 for a 21. So the two brothers succeed. Chris has a critical failure, which means double damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bleed damage. So go ahead and roll the damage. I'll do half for the brothers and double for Chris. All right, that's 7 points of damage.
Nice.
level
Almost
one.
max.
The brothers take 3 each, and then Chris takes 14 and dies.
Very nice. Well done.
Dies or gets knocked out.
Dies.
Guys.
I mean, all those, non-lethal lightning bolts out there.
Yeah, so you want to describe what Grim Tendrils looks like and what kind of damage it does?
I sort of imagine, again, reaching out like I did in previous combats, and just this black energy comes swirling like smoke out of my fingertips. It kind of goes and wraps around all of the Van Brocklins. But because I saw Chris do all this damage to Marth and knock him down, it just really focuses on her especially. And just like some invisible force is ripping across her skin.
And this is void damage. It's probably black tendrils of energy snaking out, probably right through the chests of these 3 folks. And you can see Chris just scream, clutch her chest, and she falls down, skin deathly pale, as if all the life has been sucked out of her.
And for a free action, I would like to make eye contact with Penn.
Do not cross me.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh,
Don't
too
make
bad I
me
already gave
demoralize
a
you,
hero
Holly. I got mad insults over here.
point. All right.
Yeah, go back to the circus.
Now we have Marth's turn, and your situation is, I would say, moderately better all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not completely dead, so it would have to be better,
Yeah.
yes. So Marth doesn't really get to do much, but that black energy that was in the air from those grim tendrils kind of seems to start to coalesce right next to him. You can almost feel like physical anger coming together into a shape. And next to him appears Arya.
Which square would you like to
Well, it
me
has to be
place Arya?
adjacent, so I'm going to go with the one
All right.
that. Excellent. And Arya is taking a swing at whichever of those brothers
Mordecai,
is in front of her.
right up, sort of perpendicular to Seraphina there on the map. Or Arya is, anyways.
So
The rest of
then-
you just pretend not to see it. Oh, yeah. that's,
What? Nothing's happening.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
we're
there
at
again.
thing.
Perfectly normal day in 7th Ward.
My friend has a ghost that follows him everywhere, but it's best for us not to talk
Nobody's
about
going to
this.
say anything. We don't want to be
16?
rude, you know.
16. Who are you targeting? Because it's saying it's failed, but that is a hit.
Huh.
You must be targeting your ally or even yourself or something.
Click on their token, then
I
hit
mean,
Yeah, you're
16
actually
would-
targeting area.
Yeah.
Oh,
hit T to lock it in. You'll see the little red like chevrons over the corner blinking, and that means you have the thing actually targeted for all the maths.
Foundry. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I really do like Foundry a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
Thank you, Foundry.
Foundry.
so that is 7
Hashtag
damage.
not sponsored.
All right.
Not sponsored. Yet.
Yeah.
Thank you for not making
now to
me
conjure
do math,
Arya,
Foundry.
that cost
So
an action.
that's everything. It costs me 3 actions to conjure her, and then
Oh,
she
you could
gets
do-
1 action.
as act together, right?
Kind of. I guess that's probably the math
Yeah.
that they were thinking. They don't.
Yep. So in act
Specifically
together,
say
correct me
it.
if I'm wrong. I know we sort of brushed over earlier, but basically, if you do a 2 or 3 action, then the other one of you gets to do 1 action.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Orville Van Brocklin's turn. Boy, he is mad at Seraphina, so he's going to run up to Seraphina, but that'll incur an attack of opportunity or reactive strike.
You bet it
Shepherd
will.
wants
Come on,
take
crit,
it.
Shepherd.
Yeah, Shep's
That's what you
gonna
do.
just carry the momentum of his sword around to Mordecai down here and hack into him and see if he can do anything.
He's also frightened, too.
Yeah.
19 on the die, so another critical hit.
Wow.
27 total, which is more than 10 above his AC. That's a critical hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Gouts of blood just
you guys with your
splash
crits.
across
It's
the
not you guys, it's
pavers.
just Shep.
Yeah.
Well, today it's Shep, but I
I
think
mean, in fairness, you did get a critical on me.
Yeah.
Three on the die for a total of 12 damage.
12 damage. So he runs off towards Seraphina, shouting, "No!" As he does, he leaves you. You whip out and just dig your sword into his side. He ignores it and rushes over to Seraphina. With his second action, he's going to attempt to grab her. This is an athletics check against your fortitude DC. Again, 10 plus your fortitude save.
Oh, this is going to go really well.
Okay. That's an 11 on the die for an 18. Does that beat your fortitude DC?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right, you're grabbed. He picks you up in his arms, and then he's going to, as a second action, suplex you.
Awesome.
So he just slams you to the ground head first. So
Does he do a 360 spin while he's doing it?
yeah, exactly.
Picks up a convenient folding chair that just happens to be there.
Yeah, Seraphina's wearing a luchador mask, right?
Yeah, I guess I
This is on
had
brand.
that coming.
Now it's going to be an unarmed attack on your AC. This does not incur any map penalties or anything like that. It's a special ability he has. So here it comes. At least I think it is. Let me check.
Oh,
It doesn't matter even if it were, because this is a natural 20 for a 30.
Jeez.
So in addition to knocking you prone, he is going to do some damage on you. He does 5 points of bludgeoning damage as he slams you to the ground. And then with his third action, he's going to kick you in the head. This is at map. Let me check real quick.
Is the grapple is that part of the suplex?
So you have to be grabbing someone in order to use the suplex.
Moved, grabbed, suplexed. That's 3 actions,
Oh,
right?
you're right. You're right. So that's it.
This
Thank
guy.
Thanks, Nate.
This
I got you back, girl.
you. Man, I am trying to. I wish these guys had 4 actions every time. It is not. So suplex is not an attack action. So it is not. It does not incur map penalty. Just for Jay to remember going forward. With that third action, his frightened condition reduces by 1. So Orville is no longer frightened.
Yet.
Mordecai's
No.
turn. No. He's going to try to kick Seraphine in the head 3 times.
Whoa.
Oof.
Okay.
Good thing I got that backup character prep.
I might have. Oh, I might have told the
Uh-oh.
group to prep their backups before this ep. That's a 20 on the die. For a 31.
Jeez, why is that not critical?
It is critical.
Oh, it is.
I think Founder only shows it if we get it.
Oh, got it.
Oh, what does Foundry show when you guys?
It just shows a 31, but it doesn't show the green critical hit.
All right.
I don't think he was targeted. Does it say what it was against?
It doesn't matter. It was a natural 20.
Yeah.
It was a total of 31, which hit Seraphina AC, and by more than 10. In addition, anytime you roll a natural 20, ups the success rate 1, but you can't get higher than critical success. That is a critical success. That was a non-lethal attack, however. Seraphina goes down to 0 hit points, but she's not dying. She is unconscious.
The lights went out, guys. I can't see
I'm going to
anything.
move Seraphina to right before Mordecai, even though technically you're not dying.
Yeah, this was strategic so I could move up in the turn order, actually. So I meant to do that.
And then he will whirl with his second action, will grab Arya.
Ooh.
So this is now Arya, even though she's a phantom, has no like ghost, right? Like there's no. Basically, you can just grab her, right?
I believe so.
Okay,
Don't
so
at me.
I won't at you. This is. Oh, I almost rolled acrobatics. This is an athletics check at map against yours or Arya's fortitude DC.
That is an 18.
All right. 14 on the die. Now, I think it didn't show up with map, so that is actually a 17.
That would not work. So no, she is not easy to grab. She is totally ghost-like.
Yeah.
Wait. So, her fortitude's 18. Yeah, so
Nice.
that misses. You slip out of his grasp, and I guess he has 1 action left. He's just going to try to punch her. Again, another map. 9 on the die for a 12.
Yeah, like he punches through her. She's just like, what are you doing?
And we go to Mr. Killer himself, Mr. Crit.
Yeah.
Shepard.
Shep's gonna take a long loop around to get all the way over to Seraphina and both Van Brocklins. Using sudden charge, so he gets to stride twice, and then make an attack as part of that. And he's going to target, not Orville, the other one. Mordecai, who is...
So they're shoulder to shoulder, standing over the unconscious form of Seraphina, and you attack the one on the left.
Yeah, and I get here so I can get flanking on this one with Marth, who is on the other side.
It's funny, yeah, I mean... So if you're on opposite sides of your enemy, both conscious and threatening the square, you get flanking. Although I think it's generous to call Marth threatening this guy as he's on the ground, unarmed, probably whimpering in pain.
Now that just feels hurtful.
And this is yet another
on the ground.
Critical
yet another
hit.
critical hit with 18 on the die. The flanking helped a lot.
Is there a mod that he downloaded? That
Yeah,
goes
I'm
just
starting
crits?
to like.
It's a fighter thing.
It's a fighter
It's just a
thing.
fighter thing.
Just a fight. We do this all the time.
Yeah, if you're listening to the audio podcast and call shenanigans on this, go over to YouTube. I have the live stream up.
Yeah, I'm glad Foundry does all the math for us here. But yeah, the flanking really helped.
I think even if he wasn't flanking, so his AC is now goes from 15 to 13 because of the flank.
Okay.
And you rolled a 26, which would have critted him regardless. 14 points of damage.
Just blood flying all over the place. This time across the stones at Marth's feet. And with my last action, seeing yet another unconscious party member, I would like to, once again, battle medicine.
All right, you reach down and do this. I have to say, like, I don't even know how to flavor this. Like, the one action, like, revive someone from death with just a hand. Rise, friend.
It's somehow
That
a
is
mix
some-
of morphine and
Oh,
arcane.
Unbelievable.
All right.
You are setting yourself up for a really inconvenient natural one in the future, I can just tell.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in the law averages, and I am set myself up for a lot of future misery. But
Have you rolled anything other than a crit?
I said
is
it
not.
once, I'll say it again. Guys, this game is so easy.
Yeah, I don't know what everyone's complaining about.
So Seraphina gets 14 hit points back.
Wow. I was asking around, just coincidentally after the Axis fight on Blue Sky, whether there's any kind of mod in Foundry to offset flare luck.
Is there?
Apparently, there's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
there's a
unfortunately,
market.
we all have to live with this natural 20 bonanza.
I think
seriously.
we're
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
okay
okay.
with
Yes,
that.
yeah, we like it.
I got no problems with it.
All right, 14 points of healing. Seraphina, you snap awake. You are prone on the ground. Again, if you had any weapon, it would be dropped. So your mace is on the ground next to you.
Luckily, my resentment is still active.
Wake up, Seraphina. We're not over yet.
Thanks for the nap, though.
All right, we go to Penn.
All right, I'm going to devise a stratagem. Ba-ba-da-bum.
Just sit down and watch Shepard work. Which Van Brocklin are you attacking the Mordecai or Orville there? The one on the left or right?
The left one.
That is Mordecai.
And I rolled a 7 for it.
Do you want to use that in an attack?
I do not want to use it for an attack. I want to use my second action to move. Sorry. Trying to
You never have to
uncheck
apologize for moving.
Do you know what your to hit is?
My to hit is +7. That's 14, but that's lower than the.
Their AC is 13. Was
When
it
when they're flanked,
Are they-
she is not flanking.
Are they currently flanked by me?
Yes, but that doesn't reduce their AC for someone who is not flanking them.
I'm too far
So you
away.
have to be,
Oh, I see. I'm
You have to
sorry.
be part of the
Yep.
flank in order to enjoy the benefits of the flank.
I'll get them off guard, and then
So
next time we can hit them.
my
with it.
second action is going to be to move to a more advantageous area, and I'm going to use my third action to attack not Mordecai.
Orville, Van
Orville.
Brocklin.
And I'm going to make sure.
I can really go 90s reference and say he's got popcorn coming out of his pockets.
Oh,
One person laughs.
All right,
Maybe that
that's
was even 80s reference.
12 on the
don't
die
worry,
for a
I'm there with
17.
17 is a hit.
So I get to do a whole 2 damage.
All right.
Got him.
You nick him with your arrow.
That's your warning, sir.
No, Chris!
He's got all these like just gaping wounds, and all of a sudden there's
Feels
just
like a
this
bee
tiny
bite.
little arrow just like sticks into the side of his like bicep.
Those are the ones that really sting.
Yeah.
Just like,
That's the one that makes him rage.
Yeah.
Like, how dare she?
Yeah, it's like a splinter.
How dare you bring an acupuncturist with you?
Bring a gun to a fist fight. How rude.
Unnamed gunslinger, you are up.
I'll use all of my movement, get into the fray, doing the measuring thing.
What's your movement, 25?
Yeah. I'm going to use the corpse of Chris to kind of run in, jump off of, and I'm going to do clear the path.
Okay.
Maximum disrespect.
Yes.
Just run right over her sister.
So clear the path, that's a shove
Yep, that's
action.
going to be a
right?
shove action.
Okay.
So,
Against the Mordecai and the one on the left?
yep. So
Okay, you are flanking currently with Serafina there. And this also reloads your weapon, yeah?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Nice.
This is against its shove. Is that? I know we said I'd be really good at this after a while, but I'm still not. Is this against his reflex DC or his fortitude DC?
So I make an athletics check against the target's fortitude DC.
Okay. This is one of those cases where we actually hope you don't get this.
Well, I definitely didn't with a 3 on the die for a total
Aw.
of 8.
Yeah. So he stays in the flank.
Yep.
But you are reloaded.
Yep, so I can just give him a quick shove, just more or less to load my gun.
Yeah, you just shove up against it. It's like shoving a brick wall.
we can't all be named.
Yeah, no, we all can crit. And honestly, my thought was I would take a nap on my turn. Shepard's got this,
He's got
but I was
it.
like, I'll be a target. Seems we got some people down, so.
Yeah, and if the law averages, if I'm getting all the crits and I don't get all the ones, then if you guys are getting them, that all bounces out, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the
Someone's
grand
got to
scheme
Yeah,
of
the
things.
universe is
Basically, you're Superman and we're all Aquaman.
I can talk to fish? Yes!
Penn is getting all the low rolls with devise a stratagem for me.
That's
Let's
true.
be nice to Penn today, okay?
No.
She's having a really hard time being the traitor.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Allegedly.
I feel so bad about it.
All right. What would you like to do with your third action?
That was the third. So 2 to run. It was 50 feet,
2 to
so
run. Okay.
reloading my gun and pretending to shove was my third action.
Apparently, I'm playing some version of Pathfinder where everyone
get
has
4
4 actions. Yeah. Marth and Arya, you're up, Marth. On the ground still, watching Shepard carve these guys up.
All right. I'm going to... actually, no. First, we're going to have Arya is going to kind of move around the group
Yeah.
to get over flanking with Shepard.
Just FYI for our 5e friends, moving through an ally square costs nothing.
It's very nice.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
I allow you to pass.
That's right.
All right. So Arya will go after... I can't read the names on it, but that guy that's in
Orville
front of her.
Van Brocklin. Yeah.
Oh, Orville.
So, yeah, Arya floats. I guess we're just flavoring floated because she doesn't fly. Floats over Marth and through the gunslinger to flank Orville with Shepard.
Hey, that looks
There we
good.
go.
So that would be an 18 on the die for something.
25.
There it is. You want to go to the bottom. Yep, 25 total.
That is a crit.
Ooh, I like crits.
Mr. Minus 20 over here, whatever.
Not me, it's Arya.
Hey, those are good numbers.
Whoa.
Really good
That
numbers.
is 22 angry damage.
Wow.
Yes.
Well done.
It looked like you got an extra 1d8 piercing. Is there some
Yeah,
ability
because
for that?
Deadly.
that's the deadly D8.
Nice. You kill this Van Brocklin. How to describe to me what Arya does to put him down?
Arya, you just see pure hatred in her eyes, almost as if it was more than just messing with Marth, as if she recognized this person.
What?
and just both claws dig straight in and almost Wolverine style, just like rip back out again.
Blood Eagle's the guy from behind.
And then, because Marth is also cool, he will do a needle darts against the other one, Mordecai.
Okay. I think this will have a penalty since you are prone.
See, that was going to be my question, because he's prone, but I'm also flanking with Shepard.
Yeah, so
do they cancel, or does one outweigh the other? I don't know how that works.
Because needle darts is not a melee attack, you may not enjoy the flank. Let's see what Foundry says. Foundry is smarter than me on these questions.
Yeah, just make sure it's targeted and click the button and see what happens.
Target that guy and we'll see what happens, yeah. To Nate's point.
And then I do this little magic trick.
I mean, if that's not how it works, we'll have plenty of content.
Someone will
let us know in the
definitely
comments.
let us know.
Section next app.
Should we have a Discord bash channel for people to let us know what we're messing up?
We do
Absolutely.
have a feedback channel.
Yeah,
You can let us know.
Feedback.
We
should
muted
call
it.
something more like you guys florped up.
All right, so that is a 15.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Hooray.
Apparently, it is flanking, so that's good.
Yeah, and it did do the prone math.
Nice.
And no prone. It's
Foundry, ladies and gentlemen.
You just
Nine.
reached
For
and
9
shot the
damage.
darts straight up.
In a game so full of math. Foundry, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag not sponsored. Yet.
Yet.
All
All
right,
right.
just like 3 metal needles straight up through the crotch.
No!
Probably not protected there by his armor. So.
All adventurers should have cut protection
Yeah.
when they go into the battle.
It's just responsible.
It is responsible.
And that's it.
Seraphina,
This is a good turn.
you are prone. You have no weapon in your hand. Van Brocklin standing above you. You killed his sister.
Is he wearing a kilt?
Let's answer this question once and for all.
Yeah.
So above table, Shepard, is your bastard sword, is it a +1?
No, it is not.
It is not. Okay. Then
Is it
I am going to...
mundane?
Sure.
Yeah, I would love a +1 sword.
I am going to... your wish has been granted because I'm going to lean over and cast Runic Weapon.
Ooh.
Which I will
Awesome.
put in the chat on Shepard's
I got this.
Heck yeah.
naughty sword.
Naughty sword.
And then I'll stand up.
The vengeful edge. So let me just real quick jump in here and explain what this means. So in Pathfinder, right, for those of it, our non-Pathfinder players, +1 refers just to hit. In addition, you can get some magic property called Striking Rune on a sword, which doubles the die damage. So that's what this spell does. It makes Shepard's natural born sun sword +1 striking weapon. So it now gets +1 hit and does, what's the damage die in it?
1d8.
1d8. So it now does 2d8 damage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And if I choose to use it two-handed, I gain an additional weapon die anyway. So we could really mess this dude up next turn.
It is this dude's turn. He's going to turn to Shepard. No more critical hits. And he grabs you. So this is an athletics check against your
That
fortitude.
sounds
DC.
like a manipulate action to me.
Ooh, it does a little bit. Yeah.
I would.
It is not. 17 on the die for you. 25 against your fortitude DC.
I may actually save that. I have.
Ooh, so 17.
17.
Oh yeah, never mind.
You do not save. He grabs you and then he will suplex you.
Are you sure that grapple's not a manipulate action?
I am positive it's an attack action.
It's an attack action.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the manipulate trait.
It does not have the manipulate trait. It is a pure
Cool.
attack action. And then he's going to suplex you, which has no trait on it. So he's going to roll, not at map, but an unarmed attack on you. If this hits, he gets to trash you in the ground. 19 on the die for a 30.
Jeez.
So that is a critical success. So he's going to do 2d6 damage to you while he throws you to the ground. So
I'm
you
pretty
take
sure that Mordecai just 5 seconds ago swore off of critical hits.
That's right. No more critical hits for Shepard. Although I don't know his name.
Yeah,
Got his name tag on.
that unknown guy.
And then he is going to kick Shepard in the head with his third action.
Make sure you introduce yourself, Shepard, before you kill him, so he
Yeah.
knows your name.
16 on the die for a 23.
Oh, it's another.
Because you are prone,
Mm-hmm.
that is a critical hit.
Ow.
This is a crit battle, man.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, max on the die.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You take 18 points of damage,
Yeah, that'll do it.
which knocks you unconscious.
Good night, guys.
So I'm going to move Shepard in the order to just before him.
Didn't you fall towards him to slash him on your way down?
It is now up to Penn to save the day.
Oh, I will happily. I'm going to. I'll let you guys guess it. Devise a stratagem.
Oh, there you
Ooh,
go.
okay, that's actually a good
You
one.
figured it out this
Okay,
time.
okay.
Mhm.
Because Shep's my favorite.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because I just got wrecked with high dice,
Yes.
now it's her turn to have high dice.
That's right.
So, 24 to hit,
24 is a hit.
and I'm going
Not
to.
a critical hit, though.
I get to do my strategic strike. Oh, what's up with the twos? 2 twos for a total of 4 damage. So, oh, what?
That is enough.
Nice.
Nailed it.
He is dead. The arrow flies straight and true, right into his throat. And with a gurgle of blood out of his mouth, he falls across the bodies of his siblings. And we'll end things there. However, before we leave off, you guys are level 2.
Oh!
Shepard's going to feel great when he wakes back up.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Yay.